What is going on, Reed Nation? How are you guys doing? My name is Isaac Reed, and I'm going to be doing a review for Monday Night Raw. Now, I usually do not do reviews for Monday Night Raw, but this week is going to be, the draft, the shakeup that they're actually going to be doing. So I wanted to review it, just the matter of just my reaction or how I feel about this, all these superstars coming to Raw and possibly what superstars are coming tomorrow on SmackDown Live. Now, this show I can probably give a solid C because I wasn't super entertained besides the Braun Strowman part. But overall, this show was probably just like a solid C. Now, the happiest thing in my life I feel is AJ Styles still on SmackDown. Now, you guys probably really wanted AJ Styles on Raw, but we will talk about it and and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get straight into Raw. This is how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna talk about the Q points, what I like, but I'm gonna be talking about all the matches that I remembered on the show as well. So just let's get straight into it. If you haven't, hit that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. If you're new, subscribe as well. We're so close to 8,000 subscribers, and like I say in every video, you guys support me 100%. Now let's get into this. So we started off with Miz and Maurice. They come out in the John Cena and Nikki attire, and at first I was kind of like, I thought it was John and Nikki because they be finessing for real, because when they came out, I was like, oh, John and Nikki here. But then the way Nikki was doing her dance, I was like, oh, that's Maurice and the Miz. If they just came out every week with that attire, I'll be okay. I'm sorry, I'll be okay. Maurice, if she came out with that Nikki Bella attire the whole week, all week, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. So they come out and they're basically just talking in John Cena and Nikki Bella voice, saying that they're bad actors and they didn't get the role in the movie business because they apparently act like robots. And all of a sudden, Dean Ambrose comes out. So basically, Dean Ambrose, Miz, and Maurice are part of Raw now, which I don't know how this is going to turn out. Because later on, the Miz actually loses his first match back on Raw. So I don't necessarily know how this really is going to turn out for, both Miz and Maurice. And Dean Ambrose, he really wasn't doing anything on SmackDown, so I totally understood why they brought him to Raw. But I don't know how they were going to bring back Renee because, Renee and, Dean are together. And plus, if you watch Total Divas, they had the draft on there. The last episode was the draft, and they were all scared that they were going to be split apart from their, couples. So I don't know how that's going to be. But I'm pretty much glad Naomi and Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso are still on SmackDown because we need them. So Dean Ambrose comes out. He acts like Miz and Maurice are actually John Cena and Nikki Bella, plays around with them. And then the Miz and Maurice are like, you do know we're not them. We were playing around. And Dean Ambrose was like, okay. Oh, understandable. Oh, Dirty D's them. So I guess, Dean Ambrose is part of Raw. So we cut to commercial, and then we go straight into the New Day versus Revival. Now, Revival, if you don't know, they're a heel tag team. I wasn't surprised them attacking New Day last week, and that's best for them because their gimmick does not to be honest, in my opinion, their gimmick does not to be a face gimmick. So there's best for them to actually be a straight just heel tag team. So if you don't know, Kofi Kingston is out with an ankle injury. I believe he just got surgery today, or he's getting surgery this week, which sucks ass. But apparently they're playing it off as if Revival gave him the injury, which I highly doubt that they did. But if they did, that's pretty fucked up, in my opinion. But he's gonna be out probably for a couple of weeks. We're gonna probably see him rock up on Raw, but with the broken ankle or with the boot on it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be pretty much funny as hell. So throughout this match, it was just a solid match. It was pretty good, but at the end of the day, Revival wins, which I'm kind of glad they did. Because they're trying to set up with this Revival, is destroying, New Day and trying to break them apart, trying to make them, just trying to break them apart. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But did you see how they came out with the T-shirts that said RIP? I think it was RIP New Day, and then it had like the New Day, the little ice cream truck, and it was like it was crashing down. Yo, that is the most straight up heelish thing I've ever seen in my life. Just come out with T-shirts like that. So next we actually get Big Show that returns. Now at first I thought Big Show was retiring because I interpreted when he said this is gonna be my last WrestleMania. I kind of meant that he was retiring after WrestleMania, but that's not the case. Big Show's here to stay, and he comes out and he knocks out Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel, my boy, my boy. You get drafted to Monday Night Raw, and you get knocked out by the Big Show. That is the most insanely shit I've ever seen in my freaking life, bruh. It's like, dang, Curtis, you just can't get a break. And it's crazy because he's never really been a popular superstar. It's just back in the day he's with the Edgeheads with Zach, and and he was part of the Edge's team. He's really never had he's never really had that serious run, and I don't think he ever will. I think they're just gonna make his run a joke. I mean, it is what it is. Not everybody can be pushed to be great, top notch. So I think we cut to commercial, and we get Austin Aries versus TJ Perkins, which was freaking cool, man. I'm just so happy that Austin Aries is on Monday Night Raw. I know he's been, like, when he was in commentary, I'm like, dude, when is this dude gonna freaking wrestle, bro? Like this guy is so talented, and I was so happy that he wrestled at WrestleMania, and he actually fought, Neville. It was a good match. And I kind of do understand why they didn't give him the Cruiserweight title. I mean, I would have loved it. But to see where the way they're going is that, they want to make Austin Aries bigger than the title, and what better not to keep him, fighting all the cruiserweight superstars. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna make him bigger than the title, but just the fact that Austin Aries is having matches on Raw and what's it 205 Live or whatever bullshit that is. It's cool. It's cool. I'm digging it. I'm liking it. So I'm happy for him. Austin Aries hit this crazy net breaker on was it a neck breaker? Yeah, it was a net breaker. So what was it? Austin Aries hit a net breaker on TJ Perkins on a rope, and it looked so nasty, man. It was like, dang. But to come to find out, TJ Perkins hits Austin Aries with a leverage pin, distracts Austin Aries, and basically TJ Perkins gets the win, which I was pretty much shocked because I thought that basically he was gonna lose because Austin Aries, they're trying to make Austin Aries this top guy in the cruiserweight division, which no matter what, he will still be the top guy. I mean, it's Austin Aries. So without being said, TJ Perkins turns heel, which is great because I was tired of him doing the dab. I mean, his entrance, let me be real with you, his entrance is going to be overused. The fact that he just comes out and then dabs and stuff like that, that's going to be overused as hell in 2K18. I might watch it. I'm telling you, it's going to be overused. People are just going to be like, yeah, I want to make my player do the dab, and his dab is hella cringeworthy. So glad he turned heel. I mean, we needed that, we needed that in the cruiserweight division. We need some more heels. I don't know how many heels we got. We probably got I think we might have more heels in the cruiserweight division than faces. But TJ Perkins needed to be heel. I mean, it's just his face gimmick was okay at first, but then it didn't work out, and I don't know. It's this TJ Perkins. I want to like him. I want to really get into his gimmick, but it's so hard for me to do it because I just don't enjoy it. I mean, little kids do, but I mean, it is what it is. So TJ Perkins, like I said, attacks Austin Aries. The crowd is like, it was one guy in the crowd that said, you still can't wrestle, or you still trash or something. It was like, and TJ Perkins heard him. He just turned around like this, and I was like, bro, this crowd is out of control. But overall, this crowd was pretty much dead the whole Raw. The only time they actually got super excited was when Braun, did what he did, which we would talk about. We would talk about it. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna talk about it. So Seth Rollins comes out, and basically he's just telling the crowd, thank you so much. You guys believed in me. The babyface type thing. He's just telling, I really thank you guys for supporting me throughout my injuries, and that I don't know what's going to be the next step for me, because Stephanie, she's going to come back to Raw and she's going to look at me with so much disappointment because she never got a chance to actually defeat me, and she went through tables and they replayed it. It was a good moment for Seth. At first, it felt like he was going to go to SmackDown, which can still be possible, even though Kurt Angle comes out. It could still be possible because we don't really know who's going to go to SmackDown. We just know who was on Raw today. So Kurt Angle comes out and basically says, where you at? We have a home for you in Raw. And he says, you're staying. Technically, Kurt Angle says he's staying, but anything could happen. Like I said, Kurt Angle says, you're staying. This is your home. Whatever I can do for you, we got you. And Kurt Angle leaves. Right after Kurt Angle leaves, Samoa Joe attacks Seth Rollins. And this is the crazy thing ever. This is probably the first general manager I've ever seen in my life just comes in and tries to like literally series break it. Because if you know Mick Foley, he doesn't usually come back in the ring and try to stop a fight. It's kind of weird. I've never really seen a general manager just go back in the ring and like try to stop a fight, even though he really didn't stop the fight because Seth Rollins got the upper hand and like super kicked the life out of Samoa Joe. That kick looked pretty nasty. But just the fact that Kurt Angle came back and tried to like stop it was beyond me. It was just crazy cool. Like I'm just like, Kurt Angle, you're a good GM. And I'm liking Kurt Angle as a GM. It's not bad at all. I mean, this guy he's doing good business. So I'm really much, happy for that. So Charlotte versus Nia Jax is next, and this match was really like a hard-hitting match. It was more like they're doing chops, they're punching each other, because Nia Jax is, she's a big girl, so Charlotte really can't get her off her feet. But she tries with neck breakers, and she tries to hit her with the little woo chops, and majority of that didn't work. And the coolest thing about this match that everybody said, holy shit, was Charlotte hit a moonsault. Outside the ring. But when she hit the moonsault, her knee hit Nia Jax's face. Like, I was like, dang, because when she mooned, he said, boom. And I was like, Lord have mercy. Nia Jax, bruh. I don't know how, in my opinion, it would have been cool as hell if, like, Charlotte would have done a moonsault and Nia would have caught her, just threw her on the post, like the ring post. It would have been cool as hell. But, hey, man, that moonsault is pretty good. I remember I was watching Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, and he basically said, yeah, Charlotte, he's scared that Charlotte keeps doing the moonsault because, it's more of a risky move, and he felt like she should only do that pay-per-view, which I totally understand because, that type of move, it's kind of like you don't want to do it too often because anything can happen. You can hurt yourself, break your neck, you can miss somebody. But I could totally understand what Stone Cold, meant. But overall, that moonsault was amazing, But like I said, Nia Jax is a big girl, so she finally, she got the upper hand and hit Charlotte with a Samoan drop, which led to, Charlotte losing. The Samoan drop looked pretty nasty. But I like Nia Jax. I'm loving Nia Jax because when she first came to the WWE, when she came to the main roster, she wasn't really she was kind of like a nobody because everybody was like, oh, she's going to end up being she's going to end up being like Karma or yada, yada, yada. They didn't think she was going to get pushed or anything. They just didn't think anything of her. But then she started rising to the top, starting to be in more of the pay-per-view matches with the women's title. And people starting to dig it, man. I'm digging Nia Jax. I was a big fan of Nia Jax in NXT. So I knew the minute she come in the main roster, I was like, yep, full-fledged. I'm in it. I'm liking it. Keep her there, keep her pushing, keep her going, and I'm okay with it. It's all right with me. But we see Nia Jax later on in the later on, so we'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about everything. So next we get Finn Balor versus Jinder Mahal, and this dude Finn Balor, bro, he is not playing no games, bro. This dude comes out, like his persona is so different now because if you see him before, he comes out, he's smiling, he's happy. This dude comes out like he has a mission. Like he's on a mission. This dude comes out, he's like this. He just looks around. And then when he got into the ring, this dude looked at the harm camera like this. I swear, I know bullshit. This is how the dude looked in the hard camera. He was like this dude ain't playing no games. He's here to take back what is his, and that's the Universal Championship. which probably he should get back because Brock Lesnar, this dude Brock Lesnar, isn't even gonna be on Payback. That makes zero sense. How are you the champion, but you're not defending your championship? This is what happens when they give the title to part-timers. And WWE needs to stop that right away. They need to stop doing that because that's gonna mess them up. That's really gonna mess them up. But I understand why they gave it to Brock, because they wanted to get it off Goldberg. I mean, it's just yikes. Just yikes. So Finn Balor, hits. Finn Balor wins. It was pretty much a squash match. It wasn't nothing to it. And then we cut to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt? He comes. He's coming on Tron. He's coming on a little Titantron, and I'm like, whoa. Bray Wyatt on Raw? So basically, we're gonna get Bray Wyatt on Raw after. I think we might get him on Raw after Payback. I don't think we're gonna get him on Raw right away, because he did say I still have to fight Randy Orton at Payback for the championship or something, which that made total zero sense. I mean, if you're gonna be on Raw, like, why the fuck are you gonna fight Randy for the title? Because that just makes zero sense. There's no reason for that. But anyways, he basically he's trying to start beef with Finn Balor, which might just be interesting because the Demon versus Bray, that's kind of some shit that I actually want to see. I want to see how they're gonna perform in the ring. Just imagine Finn Balor with his Demon attire, and then imagine like Bray Wyatt doing his little move and shit. Like, is Finn Balor gonna be phased, or is he gonna sit there and just like look at him? I don't know. That's pretty interesting. To think. But I'm just shocked that not Finn Balor, but Bray Wyatt is coming to Raw. Like, I didn't see that coming. I mean, he just looks like the majority of the people that are on SmackDown just look like SmackDown people. Like, SmackDown's one of that normal. It's just one of that laid back show that you can like watch all the time and not really be like, I'm gonna cut to another channel like you do for Raw. So basically after that you get I think it was a commercial break, and then they come back and they tell you who else got drafted to Raw during later on. They don't actually bring them out, but they just showed them. So Kalisto got drafted to Raw, Apollo Crews comes to Raw, Heath Slater and Rhino comes to Raw. Now there was rumored that a tag team was coming to Raw. Everybody thought it was the American Alpha, which if they would have came, somebody said if they would have came, the SmackDown tag team division would have been dead. Now I necessarily don't think it was been, well, yeah, it would have been, yeah, because we don't have that many tag teams on SmackDown, so I really don't think they should have brought any more. I really don't think should have brought any tag team to SmackDown. I mean, from SmackDown to Raw, but it's WWE. They want to do whatever they want. Heath Slater or Rhino, I could possibly see them getting to the tag team titles on a Raw. Not winning them, but just going in a feud with the Hardy Boys, which is cool as hell. They had next they had a segment. Well, it was segment like earlier in the show. It was basically Sami Zayn talking to Kurt Angle, telling him, I don't want to be on I want to be on SmackDown. I'm doing good here. Then they get interrupted by The Miz and Maurice, and Kurt Angle was like basically saying, if you want respect, you have to be, I guess you have to earn it. And he said, you and Sami Zayn are gonna fight. So Sami Zayn versus Miz and Maurice's manager. There's really not much to say about this match. That the fact that The Miz, lost on his way back to, Raw, which didn't expect that. I thought The Miz was gonna like cheat, but it was funny as hell because like Sami Zayn's about to do a suicide dive, and The Miz, as his heel self, he's gonna push his wife in the way, which is funny as hell. That I like seeing him do that. But overall, Sami Zayn wins. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's just, damn, Sami Zayn. Bring Sami Zayn to SmackDown. Just bring Sami Zayn to SmackDown. Just bring him to SmackDown. That's all I'm gonna say. Bring this guy to fucking SmackDown. So we get into the nitty gritty. We're gonna get to that the biggest thing that happened on Raw. By God Almighty, he killed him. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has an interview with Michael Cole. Crowds booing. Crowds like, man, fuck you, Roman Reigns, yada, yada, yada. This guy, Braun Strowman, comes and attacks Roman Reigns. It wasn't just no ordinary tag. It was basically Braun Strowman saying, "Hey, I'm about to kill you. And I'm gonna kill you by throwing you everywhere." So Braun just beats the hell out of him, and he grabs this. I forgot it was his thing. He grabbed this little big block thing. I totally do not remember what it was, but he slams it on Roman Reigns, and damn, that shit was like. It reminded me. I think it might have been when JBL tried. It kind of reminded me when JBL tried to run over John Cena with the car. Back in when they had 2008's feud, it kind of reminded me of that. Just the fact, the way he slammed it, but it looked nasty, bro. It looked nasty. So ambulance, not an ambulance, but the medical people, they tried to help Roman to get him on a stretcher. Braun comes back. I'm not finished. Takes him off. Beating him on a stretcher and throws him like he throws him off something, and Roman's still on the stretcher, so he's like, boom, 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 he's down. And I was like, dang, that's mind blowing. That's something that I haven't seen in a while. Like last time I saw some stretcher or some mess like that was probably when Kane threw Zack Ryder off the Ram. It's been a while since I've seen something amazing like that. So you think he's done, right? No, when they get this guy on the ambulance, this guy Braun is like, comes in ambulance. I'm not finished. Beats the life out of Roman and picks up the ambulance truck and throws it like to the side. Like he picks it up and slams it to the side. My goodness, bro, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. If you'd have saw me, I was marking out like a little kid when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, I was like going so ham. I was going so crazy because it's so cool to see something like that happen. And it was just cool as fuck. And when it happened, somebody said there's something was pushing it behind. I'm like, I don't know. Braun might have picked that up himself. You know what I'm saying? They might have, took a little, they might have took some weight off that truck, but I think Braun pushed it himself, in my opinion. It's just like, damn, this motherfucker's not playing no games. So later on, you hear that Roman Reigns has broken ribs, I think injured leg or whatever bullshit. So that means he's gonna be out, for a while. Kind of like when he had that hernia situation, he's gonna come back and everybody's gonna be like still booing him, but might come back with a different gimmick. Who the fuck knows? So that's that. And Hardy Boys and Cesaro and Sheamus versus Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and the Shining Stars. I mean, it was a tag team match. I wasn't really. The only thing that got me interested in it a little bit was probably the Hardy Boys, because them being back on Raw is just amazing. And I can't wait till this lawsuit gets over so Matt Hardy can come back with the delete gimmick, which will probably happen anyways eventually. I know he wants to come back with it so bad. Just you could tell that he wants to come back with it so bad. And I honestly want to see that. But the Hardy Boys and Cesaro and Sheamus win. They hit Jeff Hardy hits a Swanton Bomb. Matt Hardy hits the Twist of Fate. And the cool thing about it is Jeff Hardy hit a Swanton Bomb outside off the ropes onto onto Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and the Shining Stars, which was cool to see. It's cool to see all these high flying moves come into play. Usually we see that every night, but overall, Hardy Boys, Cesaro, and Sheamus win. So we cut the commercial, hella commercials. They gotta advertise all the commercials and shit. It's Raw. So Sasha Banks comes out, which I was like, please turn Sasha Banks heel. They showed a glimpse of it. The crowd went crazy because Sasha Banks is saying, I congrats to Bayley being a champion, and she said, Bayley, come out, we want to talk to you. So Bayley comes out, and she says something. I totally forgot. Sasha says something, and then the crowd was like cheering because it felt like she was turning heel. But then Alexa Bliss comes out, which it was rumored that Alexa Bliss was coming out anyways, because they said Alexa Bliss was coming to Raw. It was cool. Alexa Bliss, she comes out, everybody's cheering. They're like, oh my God, it's Alexa Bliss. Yeah. And Alexa Bliss is talking like, "Oh, you think," like, she was saying something to Sasha and Bayley. She was like, "Oh, you think this is cute and this is disgusting," and then the crowd was like, I think the crowd was like, "Thank you, Alexa," or something, and then Alexa was like, "I don't need you guys' approval," and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I like that. That was pretty nice." Um, and then Mickie James comes out, which I'm like, I'm looking like this. Okay, we have basically two divas that have been drafted to Raw, so that means we're getting two divas over at SmackDown. So we could possibly see Charlotte, maybe even Sasha Banks go to SmackDown, or I can see Charlotte going to SmackDown. But who else would go? Because since Bayley has the women's championship, she's staying on Raw. So I could see Charlotte going, possibly maybe even maybe Sasha. I honestly don't know. But Mickie James comes out. She's talking about, it was so cringeworthy. She's like, I'm back, and I'm here to stay. And Nia Jax attacks Mickie James. I'm like, thank you fucking Jesus, bruh. I mean, I like Mickie James, but God lead, that was so cringy, bruh. So Nia Jax attacks Mickie James, and Nia Jax, throws Sasha Banks and beats up Bayley and takes the championship and says, "This is gonna be my title," and that's the end of the story. Nia Jax is the destroyer, and I do see Nia Jax taking the title eventually, but not now, because Bayley really just got the title like 2 months ago. There's no meaning to take it, off her already. So after that situation, we get the champion versus champion, Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. It's like I said, it's a champion versus champions match. Because if you don't know, Dean Ambrose still has an Intercontinental Championship, and Kevin Owens got the United States Championship. I know it's kind of easy to forget that Dean Ambrose has a championship, because sometimes I'm thinking back like, who has a championship for Intercontinental? I'm like, oh, Dean Ambrose, because he doesn't solidify the championship that much. But this match was overall just, it was a Dean Ambrose and Kevin. You know how a Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens Phil match. You know how that is. And enough said. I've totally forgot who won. I believe it was might have been Dean Ambrose that won. So after Dean Ambrose wins, Kevin Owens, in the ring, which I thought AJ Styles was gonna pop up, because everybody's like, AJ Styles is gonna come to Raw. I thought AJ Styles was gonna pop up, but I'm like, no, it's not AJ Styles. It's Chris Jericho, which I thought he was going to be on his Fozzy tour, which he's not on his Fozzy tour, because he's quite there. And he comes in the ring, cold breakers, Kevin Owens, which was it was cool. It was cool to see. So I mean, that basically means that this feud with Kevin and Jericho was not finished, which I'm okay with. This feud is pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. You know what I'm saying? So let's get on to AJ. I was going to talk about AJ Styles, and I was gonna talk about AJ Styles and him not coming to Raw, or how I'm happy. So the reason I'm kind of happy that AJ Styles didn't come to Raw is the fact that SmackDown, it's the reason I stay tuned. In my opinion, this is my opinion. This is not anybody else's opinion. The reason I stay tuned to SmackDown is because I like seeing AJ Styles. I mean, a lot of people say that, but I love seeing AJ Styles on SmackDown. This guy is great on the mic, great in the ring. This guy can do it all. Basically, he can do it all. And since Nakamura's on SmackDown, Nakamura versus AJ Styles is going to be one of the greatest matches that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just so cringy. I mean, I'm not cringy, but I'm so like marked out to see this match. And I'm so happy that they did not bring this dude on Raw. I know a lot of you guys wanted him to be on Raw so he can be with the club and with Finn Balor and Luke Gallows, Carlson. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But we've already seen them together in the Indies and in New Japan. I mean, you kind of have to separate from that and try to start something new, which AJ Styles is doing. Which AJ Styles is probably gonna get the title back and it's on SmackDown anyways. And I think Seth Rollins is coming to SmackDown. I honestly still think he's still coming to SmackDown. It could be possible. I don't know. So I think Charlotte's gonna come to SmackDown. I think Seth might come to SmackDown. Sami Zayn's coming to SmackDown. They gotta come to SmackDown. Sasha Banks might. It's possible. And Kevin Owens might come to SmackDown, because we have too many championships on Raw. They have the Tag Team Championship, the Women's Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship. That's too many titles. And they got the Cruiserweight Championship. That's way too many titles on Raw. Because on SmackDown, we have the Tag Team Championship, the Women's Championship, and the WWE Championship. That's the only titles we got. Because if you don't remember, Dean Ambrose went straight to Raw. So they're going to have to bring Kevin Owens down. That's kind of like pretty fucked up if they do not bring Kevin Owens to SmackDown, because SmackDown needs more titles for their pay-per-views, because SmackDown has their own pay-per-views, as well, so they need more titles. But that's pretty much it about my review for Monday Night Raw. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for my SmackDown live review. It's going to be awesome as this one was. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video I post. Reed Nation, we're out. Deuces, baby. One love. Peace.